It is time for Ross the Boss, and Ross, I've been waiting 6 months for this, to talk grand final with you. It's the big rematch. It is Melbourne v the Western Bulldogs. I love that the AFL's done this, the grand final replay. I hope they do it every year from this point on, Ross. But the teams, let's take a look at what they've done first before we break it down. Obviously, they were the subs, James Jordan, also Latham Vandermeer, but Adam Tomlinson missed out, Ross, for Melbourne. That's probably the biggest surprise.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. We're maybe looking at the Dogs forward line, not quite a match-up coming off ACL, and we know it's going to be red hot. I agree with you. The tradition of the grand final rematch is fantastic. A little bit of run on both teams. You know, Richards comes in, but, you know, they're not too much. The spine's going to be there. The stars are going to be there. Their style of play. So it's around the edges. So really an even match-up coming.
Ross, we saw Luke Beveridge earlier. The psychology of losing a grand final, do you break it down any differently to a normal home and away game?
Well, I've got a few experiences in that. Really, the coach's cliche. It's process. So really commit, review, learn, move on. And they would have done that really quickly. So they were right in the game. And I think I've heard Beveridge talk about, we just identified where we need to improve and we've moved on. You don't go back to it. You don't needle them. The players know, when you've been in losing grand finals, you know, it sits with you for a long time.
All right, so Ross, the third quarter, they looked one goal away, the Western Bulldogs, from winning this. What changed?
Yeah, and I was watching, I thought the Bulldogs, we look at this, dominant ruck work, ground level, but it's fumbles. There's 2 fumbles for the Bulldogs, and then they're out through the corridor, and all the Bulldogs are positioned, skinny side, allows them fat side. But they had first possession. But Jackson's ruck work, if you watch here, goes up. Jackson, dominant ruck work. You should only have to defend that wedge of the circle. It's an offhand hit. That's opened up the whole circle. But the Bulldogs are in great shape here. Chalor, good body work. Martin gets the ball. We coach players to anticipate the contest to attack. So McRae's...
Is he going too early there?
Well, we talk about staying close under pressure, but he's anticipating. He's maybe a little bit far from it. But the fumble, then he's out of position. They're outnumbered, nothing to do. And then you get a penetration, north-south defence, a really deep entry and an easy goal. But it's the ruck work and the fumbles on both occasions. Here's another one. Chalor's, you look at Libba, he's constant criticism. He's in great shape there. He's got full control of the ball. So this is going to be a goal again. So he just coughs it up and they're out. They're out goal side on the cough up. So to me, dominant ruck work and fumbles cost the Bulldogs. And I caught a little bit of Beveridge on something later today, and that's what he said. We had the ball and we just coughed it up in space. Everyone wants to complicate it. The Swans in 05 measured drop marks, fumbles. Any more than 15 fumbles, they lost the game. The Doggies would have had 6 or 7 in that quarter and it killed them.
And I just wanted to touch on this, Ross. They get so many inside 50s. Xavier under siege, Melbourne. They were the #1 inside 50 team the year before, but they wasted them. And then you look at the marks inside 50, 17-4. They've got so many options down there. Just wanted to show this, the chaos that this causes. Now with Jackson doing what he's doing, it allows for Max Gawn now to go forward as well, which is even harder for them. You look at the panic in the eyes of those 3.
Well, they're undersized, aren't they? Martin's got his hands full. Like, Eastonwood's retired on the back of this game.
I love this too, Ross. How you look at the setup, the space between them, and you have to man up. Gawn, he's a star. Ben Brown's a star. Fritsch is a star. You can't leave any of them.
Well, this has come from the stoppage, and the Bulldogs expected skinny side, and Wood's just been caught out of position. But you've got Fritsch, you've got McDonald, you've got Jackson, and you've got Brown. It's just too much to handle on that supply of entry. They used to bomb it in. You can see them low in their eyes. They become a best decision. What's the best option, team? Best option.
And just wanted to highlight that Aaron Norton needs to find a friend down there. Is it Waitman? Is it Mitch Hannon? Because they got 6 goals out of Treloar and Bontempelli. That's a lot to ask.
Well, Bruce killed him, and Ugle-Hagen's going to take some time, and rightly so. So it's really Norton, and he loves launching at the ball. He hasn't got much ground level play. It's almost Norton or bust at the minute, unless someone else bobs up. You know, unless Tim English gets down there because Martin's in the ruck. But English really needs... We saw that ruck where Martin's hanging on. Jackson monstered him. The mids were under real pressure. He needs to stand up in the ruck. So they're going to be a little bit short down there.
And you're tipping Melbourne?
Yeah, Melbourne for me. I just think they come with, you know, full confidence to get it done. All right.